Hello guys, good evening everyone. Welcome to our daily stock market insights. And today is November 24th, 2020. This is Miss JD once again. And if this is your first time to watch my video, I'm inviting you guys to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell in case you like this kind of content and you are into stock market trading or investing. And I review the stocks in the Philippine market as well as in the US market. If any of you guys are also trading the US market, I do that too. So feel free to drop a comment if you have any requests. So I'd like to probably share some of the requests that I got from my video last night. See, so we have from Benjamin here, got that. Um, Hanadan Curry, green URC check. So yes. Happy Means Sharon also said thank you. You're welcome. FNI from Raul. Raul also requested MPI, CHP, and FLI. And so these are our priorities for this evening. And apart from that, I could also cover some more. Okay, so you might do the same, guys, if you want to request your stocks to be reviewed as well. And if you'd like to know my stock picks every day, be it in the Philippine market or US market, I have a Patreon account. So if you want to show your support to Miss JD, you can go ahead and check that out. I have a link down below. And if you want to trade the US market, we can do that as well. I can assist you. The link is down below. So let's start. This is the chart of our index today. And very timely because yesterday I was even talking about charts being overbought and how much it could potentially dip. And then right the next day it manifested in our index and some of our stocks. Okay, so actually this was a bearish candlestick. If I can remember my lines from yesterday, I said that was a bearish candlestick, and we plotted a support right at the 7,000 level, and it happened. So it dropped, but I like that the candlestick today has a long wick. That means when it touched the support level that we were eyeing, there was a bounce that happened within the day. So what I am anticipating, because recoveries don't happen instantly, right? So I'm even anticipating for this for the index to somehow consolidate within the area and then continue the uptrend. And the reason why I'm banking on the uptrend or a continuation in the uptrend, even if we are in the overbought. So what I'm thinking is while we consolidate, then slowly this can go within this range at the healthy level of the RSI before it goes up again. The reason why I have a strong sentiment for the stocks in the index to shoot up is because we've been on a heavy decline when the pandemic started, and businesses are starting to open up now and recover. So I'm anticipating some more movements to the upside in the coming days. But mind you guys, we are already halfway, okay, from where we dropped and from where we are at the moment. So we're halfway there. So in case you are already profitable and your objective while you got in that stock is for short to midterm purposes, then consider locking in some profit if you are already in the overbought levels. In the meantime, I am going to go ahead and check out these stocks that you guys have requested, and let's start with FNI. FNI here had a solid volume with 5 million on foreign buying, so that is a good one. What I can see here, so this is a very nice pick from Benjamin. The reason why I said that is true, it has already started accelerating in the price. However, we have a resistance and we are currently sitting at a resistance. Now, in the event that area gets broken, that means you might have a breakout play. However, just be extra careful because this is not a very popular stock. Okay, it's not a very popular stock, so sometimes profit taking might happen. So in the event it does not break the resistance area and gives us a dip, for instance, then the nearest support I can see at the moment would be around this level. Okay, 181. That is the nearest one because I saw this. Look at that. Used to be a resistance, over here. Some consolidation that happened right at this level. So in case it drops, most likely it will just drop right over here. What we are looking into is that if there is a drop, try to observe the volume as it goes down. If the volume is not that huge, then chances are we can say that these people are still holding on to their position, and continuation can happen. That could just be a temporary profit taking that's happening because people are already profitable after this significant increase. Actually, it has been climbing since March. Okay, so careful. This is a resistance, and you know the triggers. If it does not break the resistance, then check out the next possible support and add there if you're interested in getting in. Now, BSC. This stock I also saw today. It almost did a 50% it did a ceiling, and then there was profit taking. There was also good volume, but because this is not a very popular stock, I'd say be extra careful because there could be some more selling pressure that will happen. And I am looking into this gap. I just see a big possibility that it will be filled. We're not 100% sure if it will happen tomorrow or in the coming days, but definitely for those people who are still interested in getting in, I'd say wait for a retracement. That's a safer one. Okay, and the area I am looking at would be around the 0.24 level. So for me, I find this already as an expensive level because of the fact that this is not very popular. It's not a very popular stock. I don't know the news. Was there any? Yeah. The market cap is just small, so it's easy to move. Pizza. Pizza is already at the overbought level. Look at the declining momentum in your RSI. Do you see that? So that's a sign of weakness while the price was moving higher. So what I can say here is that in the event it will continue to drop, it might just go back to the 8.09 level, which it actually touched today. So it's fine. Just let it rest for a while so that we have a more sustainable increase in the price in the coming weeks. Okay, so 8.09 is the nearest support. Once it reaches 8.09 and it breaks that level, the next drop would be 698 or 695. That's because we saw this. Okay, at least you know where your key levels are. But hang in there. This might consolidate for a while or drop for a few cents. The next one is green. Green also dipped today and challenged your MA20 line. Let's see. Volume slightly there. So maybe let's just peg it at this level where your MA20 line is at the moment because you have your resistance right here. So let's see if it will just accumulate again at that area and then continue to break your previous resistance levels and bounce. So far, you still have a few wiggle room for the price to continue the uptrend and that is just 30%. So what I can say here at the moment is that these levels I have actually plotted. Even if I see it as a possible support, this should already be a profit taking level. You could have entered right here, like the early stages. The perfect time that I see as a better, the most perfect time for me is this day. Probably end of day of that day, because one, we started crossing the MA20 line, and then when it retraced, it started at this level, and that was already your sign that you have established a support, because for 2 days prior to that day, each time that level is hit, you had some bounce that happened, and then the next day it started at that level and then continued to push the price higher. That's one. Number two, it started triggering the upper band. And we know that when we start triggering either the upper or the lower band, there will be a continuation wherever the direction is. And true enough, it did that. So, what? So the stocks that are badly hit with a decline, those are the stocks that I would normally be curious of. Okay, so that's my 2 cents. At this point, I'd say this area where we have green at the moment is technically a profit-taking level. So you can still continue trading that, but my recommendation is use a faster time frame, because we only have a few window for our profit-taking levels. What about URC? URC right now has touched your MA20 line, okay, and then there was a bounce. I say this for me is a bounce, even though if we have a red day today, the wick that touched the MA20 line was already your cue that a bounce is happening. So I'm thinking there will be a continuation tomorrow, but in the event you have several days touching this area, even better, because at least you could negotiate with a much cheaper price before it continues to move higher and higher. So far, this for me is a good area to still accumulate volume. You have your resistance right here, resistance, and then this will now become your support. Look at that, support as well, support. So those are your key levels to monitor. The next one is, after URC, is Tech. Okay, Tech is my favorite right now. So while the others were very fearful with a continuous decline of this stock, this was the period when I started accumulating, and slowly it's paying off. Even though we had a red today, we had some foreign buying that happened. So I'd still say this is a good area to accumulate and start and buy some more, because we see this stock moving higher and higher. I think the downtrend I think we have reached the bottom for Tech. You see that? And we're done with the consolidation. The uptrend is just starting for this stock. So 7.08 for me is still a good area to buy. And this for me is just a temporary red day, and then there will be some more movements going up. Look at that. Imagine this. At one point it reached the 50 level. That was just 2 years ago. Okay, so imagine holding on to this position for a year. The next one is FNI. FNI. Oh, I already did that. Let's check out MPI. MPI also touched the MA20 line, but we are currently at a possible support. So try to observe first if your MA20 will break, because you know, an MA20 line is a very strong moving average level. So far, it has been respecting that. Each time it touches the MA20, there's a bounce that's happening. So we might have the same for this stock. Overall, yeah, there is a big potential. Yeah, we even reached 2017 or 2016. It reached a 7 peso level. So yes, MPI is a very established company that's part of the index. Number two, there's a regular dividend yeah, that's being paid quarterly. So that's a bonus if you want to stay long term. And then you just buy the dips so you can accumulate and start to increase your volume. So at least you have ongoing revenue, at least even though if the dividend yield is not that much, I think it's at least your money is gaining while you're sitting on the stock and accumulate. Okay, next one is CHP. As for CHP, we are also starting to show some recovery. And in today's performance, there's the market gave you a chance at a cheaper level. So the nearer you are to the MA20 line, which is 166, that's a much better haggle. So if this stock will probably give you another red day tomorrow, try to see if 166 will hold. Overall, you're just at a very cheap level for CHP. The next is FLI. Okay, FLI also revisited some key areas here, but I'm thinking, let's see if in our Fibonacci tool, which part will it potentially drop. So if we'll use this as our key level, try to see if at around 104 area, okay, let me plot that, 104 and 1 peso level. If the price touches that key area again, so we might have a red day tomorrow because we are still at the overbought level. See that? Also, you have a declining momentum from this point to this point. It's going down while the price is going higher here. So if it drops, I think it is just going to be minimal drop, revisiting the two areas I have plotted here. So that can still be a possibility for FLI. At least you could still add some more, right? Before it totally takes off higher and higher. Okay, so those are your requests. And now what I am going to do is sort all the stocks and let's find out the most trending one, ACEN. Okay, ACEN over here really had that very huge volume, foreign buying that's happening. I think this stock is just unstoppable. We just don't know where it could potentially drop next, just to rest. I hope it rests, because personally I am also eyeing this stock. I just didn't have the courage to buy it at an expensive level because I already find this area as too expensive for me. It's a FOMO level, but let's see if it will retrace around 577. You can probably do test buys there, not that huge volume yet. At least if it drops, then you can have some of your volume added at a much cheaper level. Then when it rides higher, then at least you already are in a position. So just manage your allocation. But for now, this stock is really so I posted something the other day. I'm not sure if it was yesterday. I found it in one of the websites where they analyze stocks even in the Philippine market. So they said that this stock is undervalued. But if I'm to look at the financials last week, they didn't really have a good number in terms of retained earnings. So I think the reason why the stock is really soaring higher and higher each day is the fact that this is under the renewable energy, that their main business model. So the people are just anticipating a growth potential in the industry like this. Pretty similar with MRC, right? MRC is also, um, it has actually started accelerating. Let me see MRC. So at least this one is resting. So in case it drops, most likely this one over here will also drop around the 47 cents area. So I think that's a much better area to enter if you're considering MRC. But between MRC and the ACEN, I think ACEN has a really solid fundamentals compared to this. But don't quote me on that. We need to see a comparison, because I know this the MRC had several losing streaks in their income. In ACEN, they were positive in the uh, last quarter of this year, but the revenue is not that much yet. Okay, so we're just looking at it based on fundamentals. We're just looking at the charts. Um, the fundamental analysis, that's your assignment. You can check the news, you can check PSE Edge and compare. So the area for MRC, possible area of drop would be 0.47. Same strategy for ACEN. If you can wait for a pullback, that would be much better. BDO. BDO is so powerful. I thought we are going to end with a red candlestick today, but we ended with a doji. It's nice. It's 1.4% higher than yesterday's performance, but I'm still not 100% banking on the fact that we're positive today, because a doji could also mean a sign of weakness, um, and we might have some more declines. Could be a temporary decline because people will be taking some profit. So if it drops, I'm thinking it will just be around the 104.89 area, and then it continues to move up again. Overall, guys, look at that. The potential of this stock is still there. We're just, I think, 35% on our way to recovery and reach the top again. I think from the bottom, this is just a, let me see, just to be sure. Yeah, it's just 20% from the bottom, 22%. So we still have around 33% more. That's your potential if you enter just in the area. Okay, so 104.89 for me is still a good area. It's a buy level for me. Next one is BPI. BPI, we had a red today, so I'm thinking there's a chance that we could revisit the previous support, which is right at the 81.43. However, guys, my 2 cents, BPI is a very stable company, nothing to be scared of. In fact, whenever it drops, take advantage of that, buy some more, and I suggest hold on to it for a much longer period of time, because definitely I see the banking sector really recovering as well. For Mary Mart, we also had a solid green today, while the rest of the world is bloody red. This stock was so bullish the entire day with 6.7 million on foreign buying. So what I can say is, at the moment, there's still a lot of potential for this stock, although we are already at the overbought level, so just be extra careful. In case it drops, I think this is the area where it will create a new support or establish a support. It's 522. So just find out, or just probably use a much faster time frame, and decide where you'd like to get in. So if you're using a Bollinger Band, if you change the time frame to a much faster time frame, the Bollinger Band will also adjust. And using the same method, you can enter at the support areas too. Okay, so 522 for me is still a support area. I'm thinking if it drops, it will just make this RSI healthier. It could go back within this range below 75, and that would be good. So 522, guys. All right, so I think that is our first part. I'll check again later if I could record another one, but at least I already have these initial stocks that you guys have requested. I hope you will have a profitable day tomorrow, and I hope the market recovers tomorrow. And yeah, see you again next time. Hopefully by tonight I could record another one. Bye bye for now.